All right. Happy Thursday, everyone. We are going to be playing this version of sorry, just move my camera over a bit. We're going to be playing this version of Izzet Prowess or Arcanist Prowess again that we played a few games of yesterday. I really like the deck. I thought it was a lot of fun. Had some really cool lines. So I want to try it again. We're gonna play a few games and we'll see how I feel. I might jump into a league and start a few games of a league. That depends on time. But yeah, let's jump in and try this out. Also, Modern Horizons 2 Limited is out today, so I don't know if I have time for a draft today, but this is something we can probably do. Man, people have been going hard on this already today. A couple people already have 2 trophies, and Modern Horizons 2 looks sick, though. It looks like a really good format. I think Wizards did a great job, and yeah, I actually think they should be pretty proud of that set, so I don't think anything too oppressive. So I think they did a good job, to be honest. No complaints for me. I was just I was kind of snooping at like the price list, and I think I counted almost 40 cards that are $10 and up. Like Ragavan is the most expensive at like $80, which isn't like brutal, but it's decent. And then what? Grief. Oh, Subtleties were playing Grief, $70. Cabal Coffers reprint 59. Anyways, like these cards are Ignoble Hierarch 54. There's a decent price. Some of these cards still. It's like, oh, and these are just like, these are not the. Oh my god. This is this is Magic in 2021. All the different kinds. It's crazy. Main set foil etched. What are these going for? Okay, not like too bad, I guess. That's the main set. Retro foils etched. This is probably insane. Ignoble Hierarch, $300. Guy's Will. What is I'm really surprised Force of Negation isn't up there. Oh, I know why. Retrofoils, Modern Horizon. All right. Giver of Ruins is the most? No, that can't be. That seems crazy. Urza's up there. Force Negation. Are the Oh, I guess that's the main set, the fetches. I think if you can snag a collector booster, and if you can hit some of these big bombs, like 1 or 2 of these basically pays for your collector booster. Like in my mind, if I bought one, they're $500 here in Canada, so probably not going to be buying one. But if I bought one and I pulled Urza or Force, I'm taking this bad boy in. I'm trading it in. I'll pay the extra whatever, $100, $80, and I'm definitely buying another collector booster. Like for me, or a box. That's what I would do personally. Yeah, you can have one card that's old and foil. Cool. I'd rather have double the amount of cards for the same price. All right. We would like to play first, yep. Okay, this is good. I'll keep this. It's so dirty. So dirty. This deck's cool. Arcanist, Dragon. Yeah, like we don't want... We don't want ramp. Bye-bye. Beautiful. I Like, this is just so nutty. Let's go this. Red, red, this. Yield through the turn. Yep. So if they play something else, we can Sprite Dragon. Shock. Unless they get rid of it. Yeah. Get in for 2. Get rid of that. It's just nutty. Like, this is wild. Get a Sprite Dragon out. Go to combat. Attack. Always yield. Get rid of that. Get a counter. That's dead. Oh, I don't know why I didn't attack with Sprite Dragon. A brain no work. Okay. That's why you play the deck before you go into a league. Because that could have been... misplays like that can be the whole match. Like, you lose the whole game because of that. I'm going to go Swift Spear here. Let's opt. Trigger, trigger. Sure. Sure. Like, being able to cast Op again off of Arcanist. Put that on the bottom. Okay. It's just... This is wild. Yep. Yep. Trigger, trigger. Like, this is insane. Put the bottom. Okay, well, the 18 lands is definitely, you know, it is what it is. But so look at this. Like, we got a 4/4. So we can shock. We can crash through next turn. We can play another Sprite Dragon. 9. What is this going to be? Chandra? Okay, sure. I think they're going to get rid of the Sprite Dragon. But now that's dead. We have another Sprite Dragon. If we draw a land... Okay. Like, this just seems too good, right? Do we want the Sprite Dragon more or the Swift? We want the dragon. Okay. Everybody get it. Oops. That was a mistake. Sure, yeah. Oops, oops, oops. I was supposed to shock. Well, not a big deal. This will attack Chandra. Face. Or what is this? 2. It'd be 3, 6, 7. Yeah, we'll go the face. Yep. 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 Trigger, trigger. Drew a dive down. Cool, cool. This is good. This deck is sweet. Issue is like something like Anger of the Gods would not be good right here. That doesn't even matter because we just Swifter Shock, right? Okay. Super cool. Spell Pierce probably looking good here. Rolling Vortex might be okay. Whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent. Take that out, actually. Magma Sprays are probably good. I think Bedlam Reveler can be really good here, too. I'm going to cut out an entity. I'm going to cut out... Actually, maybe we don't need Wild Slash. Or we don't need Magma Spray because we have Wild Slash. Crashers are good. Spell Piercers are good. These are good. I'm going to cut one Arcanist. Even though Arcanist was like a... Actually, Arcanist was like... Arcanist was big time that round. I'm just going to have one Reveler. Soul Scars are probably good here. Iterations are good. Maybe just cut the Lightning Strikes. Rather just like... They're a little bit slower, so let's just try and beat their face. Man, Arcanist. Didn't think I could start loving a card anymore, but then it goes and does that. Sorry, I'm just working with my camera here. We can keep that, yeah. Pathway. Then Swift Spear for 1. Crash through the next turn. Steam Vent's tapped. Sure. I don't mind pressing like 1 for okay, but I find there's way too many times that I click it when I shouldn't. Like, oops. 2, 3. Bingo. Okay. It's my best friend in the whole world. Yep. Sure thing. Okay. Ramp. Cool. Let's get a Swift Spear out here. Let's crash through. Creatures get trampled. Sure. Go to combat. Swing with all creatures. Always yield to it. Perfect. Cast. Prowess. This is sweet. I like this deck a lot. Spellpierce is a good draw, actually. They very well could just be sitting on like a Chandra. So you're gonna like triple block. Okay, fair enough. Sure, they're all the same. Okay. Pass. I'm not too concerned because we're actually doing pretty good on mana here. And 3, 4. Huh. Bye. Haha. Yes, baby. Spell Pierce. Nissa. Ciao. Ciao. Is that GG? You didn't see it coming. Yep. Blue and red. Hard hitter, what's going on? Things are going well tonight so far with this deck. We just spell pierced Nissa, who shakes the world. That was super fun. Okay, trigger. Probably put one in my hand to this. Probably one in the bottom, and then we'll just get rid of this one because we're not too worried about that. Go for 4. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, it's been Dreadhorde Arcanist in the first game. Clutch. We were just like bringing back Wild Slashes, bringing back Ops. It was awesome. Why is there a random Golos in this deck? They're at 12, so we're definitely going to go... Okay, Radiant Fountain, sure. Okay, let's go. I'm not like too concerned about my life. Sure, trigger. Arcanist is sick. Okay, so let's look. What do we got here? Arcanist, Swift Spear, Slash. I could almost cut Golos down, but I don't think I'm like too concerned about that. I think I'm gonna put a Swift Spear in my hand. We'll put Arcanist back, and we'll just put a Wild Slash here. So I think let's just actually let's go to combat. Because we could double Wild Slash here. Okay, declare blockers. Oops, no blocks. Okay, let's just get rid of a mana dork. Oh, excuse me. I've definitely been making a ton of misplays, which is normal for trying to figure a deck out. Like, should I just have shot 2 Wild Slash after face, put them to 5, and just die to Sprite Dragon? We have Dive Down. Dive Down could be really clutch here. Sure. Yeah, like, Dive Down is just our answer. Okay, sure. GG. GG, folks. Do I just hit them now? Yeah, I think like it's over, right? Hit them here, sure, I don't care. I want the +1/+1 counter. That goes to 5. They go to... Yeah, like it doesn't even matter. Let's just get this out for shits and giggles. Iteration, trigger, they're at 6. Alpine Moon, are they playing Lotus Field? I don't know if they're playing Lotus Field. I don't think Alpine Moon works though, right? Because you have to target the land, I think. And Lotus Bloom has hexproof, right? Or Lotus Field, sorry. I don't know if I have any of that. Alpine Moon. Oh, how do I search for shit I don't have? Okay. I don't have Alpine Moon, but I'm pretty sure it's... Oh, Blood Sun. Yeah. I don't know if they were playing... I don't know what they were playing. We wrecked them so fast that they didn't even really have a chance. This deck's sweet. The dive down... Alpine Moon turns Lotus Field off, does it? I can't... oops. Forgive me. I'm not certain. Alpine Moon. Let's look. Alpine Moon, MTG. Let's go to the Gatherer. Choose a non-basic land name. Lands opponent lose all abilities except the gain. Add 1. Ah, okay. It totally does shut down. I thought you enchanted the land for a second, but I was like, Lotus Field has hexproof, right? Yeah, hexproof. Okay, Alpine... Yeah, fuck, Alpine Moon might not be a horrible idea to have in the sideboard. Because, like, we don't really have an answer to Lotus Field. Right? Like, that's... I guess Rolling Vortex is. If a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast that. That doesn't really help. I wonder how much Alpine Moon is. Maybe it's worth it to get, like, 2... previous trade partner, sure, card hoarder bot. Might not be a bad idea, actually. I'm sure it's like a penny. Okay. It is free. 26. How much? I'm just gonna get it. I'm just gonna get a set. I'm gonna have a set. It's gonna be literally free. Okay. I put one in my board because one guy at my shop showed me his Lotus Field combo deck. Oh, okay. Yeah. This is actually not a bad card for us in this deck. I think you're definitely right about this. So like what am I missing with Rolling Vortex? Like what deck is going to be whenever a player casts a spell if no mana was spent? Like what deck in Pioneer is doing that right now? Like is that ability ever going to come to play, or is it more just take one and us being able to shut off their life gain with the opponent's can't gain life? Like to me, I think it's the first ability. Each player's upkeep that deals 1 damage, and the last. So I don't know. I'm probably missing something. Fires of Invention. Okay, yeah. I haven't, to be honest. I don't remember the last time I played against Fires of Invention. Force and Negation. Luckily, Force isn't in Pioneer, but yeah, I guess in Modern, take 5 to the face. Actually, shit, this is a not bad card for my Boros Burn deck. Yeah, it shuts that off. Yeah, 5 damage for Force Negation is brutal. Okay, so I think I am going to cut... You know, there was 4 in people's sideboard, but, like, in Pioneer, I don't know. I feel like I'm just missing the point. And the Grief Merchants. Yeah, true. Oh, God, Grief, man. I can't wait. Give it, like... give Modern 7 days after... Modern Horizons 2 releases, and people are going to be like, ban Grief. Ban the white, blue, and black. Whatever. Solitude, Grief, and whatever the Swords to Plowshare. I think those people are going to bitch about. Okay. You don't have Vortex in your board. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess I could kind of see it. I could kind of see it, yes, in a sense, if there's decks we're going to come up against where they might have a sideboard card that gains life, and then they have answers to our creatures, and we just can't push through the final couple damage. So I can see situations maybe where it's not that bad to have. So we'll keep 2 in just to see. People are having fun now, but Grief would tilt me, yeah. Okay, I think I watched, I think it was last week, Versus Live, Star City Games Versus Live. Corey and Ross were playing, and Corey, turn 1, Grief, Ephemerates. So then it comes back, and it sticks. Like, it was ridiculous. He just, like, ripped Ross's hand right off the bat. I don't know. That seems nutty. But also, I've had games where people have, like, thought seized and dressed me to oblivion. And then I draw into my deck, and they don't, or they draw more of those cards, and I've kind of flashed my hand out, and it's like, it's a trade-off. I definitely think it can be a super impressive strategy, but in other matchups, I think it's like, okay, cool, you hit my hand, now we're both got nothing, I draw better, and you draw those cards, and it's not really doing anything. I don't know. The nice thing about those cards is on a big body still. It's like a 3/2 menace, I think, right? It is unmasked on a stick. Trust me, I'm not trying to like undersell it. I think it's super powerful. I love thought seizing people, and to be able to do it for free, then ephemerate it, it's just, that's ugly. It's ugly. I can't wait to see people dealing with it and doing it, but I don't know. It's kind of cool. I feel like the red evoke and the green evoke kind of got the shaft. Like, the other 3 seem so strong. Green doesn't need more strong cards. I don't care about that. The red one's cool. I wish it was, you could choose the face. It's just creature planeswalker. If you could do 4 to the face, I'd slam 4 of those in my modern burn deck so fast. Okay, let's try and find another game. Delver plus the Black Reef. Yeah, that's true, actually. I think Delver's coming back. That new Delve Dragon, that's a 3/3 Prowess, is pretty sweet, actually. I think they were playing that on Versus Live today. I think, not Corey, Todd Anderson was on there. I think he was playing the Dragon. It's pretty sweet, actually, to be able to just slam like a 2-drop Dragon with Prowess. It does something else when it comes into play, too, I think, right? Let me go back to the regular main set. What is it called? Murktide Regent. Delve flying, ETBs with the +1/+1 for each instant sorcery exiled. So like, that's badass. If you just ditch 5 creatures, you got an 8/8 flying, and whenever an instant sorcery leaves your graveyard, it's not even legendary. You could slam like 2 of these down in a game. That's wild, dude. This new Delve Dragon is awesome. It's such cool design. Where'd it go? Murktide Regent. That's a sweet. Yeah, if you're playing Grief in a Delver deck with these, and like, I don't know, that's some super cool design. I like I said, I actually think they hit Modern Horizons 2 out of the park. Yeah, there's a few cards I think that might not even be ban worthy. They're just strong, which is fine. Modern's a strong format. It's got about 15,000 plus cards. But we're not having these cards. I think they're going to wreck the format. I don't see a Hogak. I don't see anything that can kind of do like the bridge from below. There is a bridge from below creature, but that's easy to be dealt with. I really don't think those evoke creatures are going to break the format. I think they're going to be really strong. But I think they added just a ton of sweet, powerful new cards that can enable some more strategies, give strategies pieces. Like, I think Merfolk finally got a couple pieces to like bring its power level up, which is awesome to see. So yeah, it's cool. I think they did an awesome job with the set. We got a mulligan because we have no creatures. What did we ditch here? Mountain. That dragon though, they nailed that. They nailed that card out of the park, man. Fire and Ice. I feel so stupid. I played Magic for like 20 years at this point, on and off, but maybe longer at this point. I did not realize that split cards like Fire and Ice until I started playing like Rakdos Arcanist. I did not realize that it's one, like you gotta go with the higher converted mana cost. I did not realize that. I don't know when they made that change, but it was probably not while I was paying attention. So they're just sitting on a push, I think. Let's just play it safe. Is this Arcanist? This is my pet deck. All right. Well, let's see it. Stitch them up. Man, I definitely... I'm so high on this card right now. I definitely want to snag a few of these. What are they going for? What is like 30 bucks? 30 to 45. This card's sweet. That's a sweet design for a dragon. Ooh, Electrolyze and Pioneer would be really nice. What do we want here? I think we want a Soul Scar. Electrolyze is cool. I like that card a lot, actually. I think Prismari Command is pretty sick as well. I think it's... do I save this? I'm going to save it. Prismari Command is sick. I think that's a super cool card. I think it's a little slow. Maybe not necessarily Commander, but this deck. But if you're making like a Jeskai control deck for Commander... Not Commander, for Pioneer, jeez. I worked hard today. I worked my brain so. Prismari Command is a sick card in like a Jeskai control deck in Pioneer. I can get behind that 100%. But Electrolyze is up there too. Oh, they got him. All right. This guy's just have. Oh, he took another Stitcher trying to find Croxahane. Okay, what do we got? True, though. Okay, fair enough. If you want to hit 2 mana dorks with an Electrolyze, split them up. Not a bad idea. I think mana dorks are kind of that odd thing in Pioneer. It's like it enables green to just go crazy, but not every other color has something of equal value, if you want to call it that. At least in my mind. And I mean, like, what do I know? Okay, if they want to trade, that's totally fine. I want to save these two in case they get, like, an Arcanist. Because there are many targets in the sin bin. Alright. Sorry, I call the graveyard the sin bin. That's a Canadian thing. Hockey. Gotta love it. Alright, their graveyard's filling up. Yep. Oh, see, this is when it would be nice for us to have Spikefield Hazard. I remember watching Todd play the mono green deck with Leyline. Like the Leyline ramp card? Oh god. Oh god, that's gross. Yeah, we want to get rid of this. Okay, so if they play a land, they definitely have Croxa next turn, which is Kind of shitty, but let's see what we got. We would not have a second blue. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that initial green ley line. Yeah, that and Oath of Nissa were just brutal at the beginning. I like that they introduced it a format like Pioneer, and they said, "Hey, we're gonna do like weekly bans." It was a cool experience. Between like the pandemic kind of obviously shafting us, and then them taking so long to ban Inverter. It was just so hard on Pioneer. I'm gonna put this out. See if I wish I had Soul Scar. Because when they play Croxifine, it's like you could just cut it down with the counters. There's a land. Okay, we just get rid of Wild Slash here, I think. I really should pick up the trade these Arcanists in for the Time Spiral Remastered ones. Oof, those look good. I wish Monastery Swiftbeard was in Historic. You could basically play this deck in Historic then. It's just missing this. I'm also convinced that Wizards is just never putting Pioneer Masters. They haven't talked about it all year. We're 6 months in. It was supposed to release at the end of last year. As soon as they saw how Limited was just rocking, and I'm not a Limited guy, so that's probably why I'm a little bit hard on it. But as soon as they saw Limited was rocking and they were just making a crap ton of money, it's like, well, we're going to shelve this and just release everything as a master set. It's going to take like 5 years for Pioneer to get onto Arena at this point. Okay. What we got? Sprite Dragon's okay. So we can go over. Yeah, I think they gave up on Pioneer Masters too. It went from being like to be released at the end of 2020 to in concept. Like, how does that even happen? I don't understand, but whatever. It is what it is. They got 2 Fatal Pushes in here, Bloodchief Thirst, and they ditched a Dreadbore. So I mean, like, that's okay for us. Iteration will be good next turn. Do we Arcanist here, have them trade, and crash through again? Or do we just opt? Oh, we could cast Dive Down. No, that would make it 6 still. Wild Slash exile it? Nope. Damage can't be prevented. Alright, let's just get in. Let's get in. We'll opt. Yep. Let's choose opt. Yep. I would like to cast it. Yep. Trigger. Sure. Yeah, so let's see if we can find... I don't think we want that. Yeah, Lightning Strike I think we can deal with. Yep. Trade. Thank God we gave our guys Trample, which is super nice. Crash Through's sick. It actually, I think it really comes into play a lot more than I initially suspected. Mountain. Alright, cool. Also, here's a tough decision. Do we hit them for 3, next turn bring them to 8? That brings them to 4, 5, 6. There's a Pyromancer. Sure. Yeah, Soulscar sticking around would have been pretty sweet, actually. Fame it, sure. Yep. Make a blocker. Take 8. Sorry, cat was like doing something in the back. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Okay, what were we doing? Math is hard. Lightning strike their face. Iteration gives us more. I think iteration. Being able to see 3 cards, I think, is a lot more than the attack. I think we need to leave up a blocker though, because we'll just die. Okay. Okay, so we have an Arcanist. We've got a, let's iteration here. Trigger, sure. Okay, put one into our hand. We're gonna put this in the bottom of the library and this on top. That's really good. Play that like this. Go to combat, just with this. Swing. 3. Trigger. Go to 8. Go to 3. And if they don't have an answer for this, we can potentially try and win next turn. They have 3 cards in the hand, though. I'd be super sus if they didn't, though. They can also just Fame here. Swing, block 4, 3, 7. Okay, well, they could Fame that. 1 card in their hand. If it's not a removal, I think we can survive. Okay. They're going for the big swing. Their hope is that I have a land in my hand. If I had a land in my hand, we're dead for sure. Cool. Yep. Blocks here. 4, 5, 6, 7. They could. They don't have a Crocs would reanimate. Nice. All right. Ah, snuck it out. We had an opt into a wild slash, so that would have almost been enough. Okay, cool. Okay, so we did the first one, which is great. Now, Magnus Rays need to come in. Braids are probably good. I think Bedlam Reveler is going to be good here. Rolling Vortex, I'm not worried about. Mystical Dispute, I'm not worried about. Alpine Moon, I'm not worried about. Spell Pierce could be okay for pushes, Thought Seizes, that kind of shit. Storming Entity, I think it can be really good here. Because it's 5 CMC, right? These 2 cards, I think, are going to be the all-stars in this match. They play around Fatal Pushes. The normal Rakdos Arcanist Pyromancer list that I've played only usually run 2 Dreadbore. So if we have 6 threats, that's fine. Okay, so let's go 8 cards to cut. So I think Lightning Strikes can go. I don't even know if we need a Braid. Let's just move a Braid over for a minute. I'm going to cut an Arcanist or 2. I'm going to cut 2 Arcanist. These are going to be our replacement for Arcanist. Arcanists are going to die super easy. So let's do that. I think Dive Down is going to be pretty good in this matchup. That we can save our guys when we need it. I think we need to get Stormwing fast. I think we just take Shock out for the 2 sprays. Let's see, Dive Down, Opt, a couple Spell Pierces, okay. Crash Through's good here still. Maybe we ditch a Crash Through, bring in another Shock. Just so we have an answer to more answers to Pyromancer. That gives us 1, 2, 3, so 7 straight up answers. Yeah, let's try this. I think this is okay. I'm realizing that we have like no straight up graveyard hate in the sideboard. Maybe that's like something we should be. Man, I'm really on the fence about running a Bedlam Reveler in the main deck. We definitely need to put some sideboard hate or some graveyard hate. I don't know what. Whether we do like Scrabbling Claws or what. Okay, this is bad. This is not great either. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I guess we're not going to mulligan. Let's just ditch the Ship and Reef. Take less damage. We can Spire Bluff, hold up a Magma Spray if they don't Thoughtseize us. Okay. We got an Opt. Okay. We're not going to run our... There's no point to run our Swift Spear into Fatal Push, right? We have Opt, we have Magma Spray. If they Crocs right now, we have an answer to it. There's an Arcanist. Okay. Don't have an answer to that at the moment. Tormod's Crypt. Yeah, Tormod's Crypt actually might be the best option for this. For the simple fact that, like you said, it's free. Storming is going to be good here. So we're going to draw this. And... So... I think I'm just going to hold up on what I want to do here. I don't think there's a point to be like pushing a Swift Spear in. I would honestly like to just double Wild Slash, get rid of this. But I'd really like them to play a Croxa for me to just get rid of Croxa. If they're going to swing for 1 here for nothing, that's fine. Luris in their hand. Okay. I think it's best to just get, let's put that in our hand. I think it's honestly just best here to do this. Yeah, Soul Guide. I really like the fact that Tormod's Crypt is free in this deck, that it can be played, trigger Prowess. No, Prowess is just instants or sorceries, right? Anyways, whatever. It's free, though, so we can still do our main game plan of having the limited mana we have open for our one mana cards and our cantrips. But on the other hand, Soul Guide could answer our individual problem of, say, a Croxa in the graveyard, a single Croxa, and it becomes card draw. That's why I'm torn on Soul Guide. The 2 iterations. That's... I'm gonna put 1 on the bottom, 1 on top. Okay. Yield. So if they play Luris here, we have like answers and Magma Spray to just get rid of it forever. Unless they have Dreadbore. Yeah, okay, so they got a Dreadbore, so that's fine. Because I think next turn we're gonna Swift Spear and just slash this to hell. Prowess is any non-creature. Okay, okay, cool. I for some reason thought it was instants of sorcery. Yeah, so I think you could make... I think you could honestly make the case for either Soul Guide or Tormod's Crypt. Soul Guide is probably a bit more impactful, that it comes down and exiles a card in a graveyard right away. So that alone could be the answer, and you have a card draw, whereas Tormod's Crypt is only like get rid of everything. So I don't know. Tormod, I do like the free aspect of it. I like that a lot. So let's get the Reef out here. Let's Swift Spear. I think I'm okay letting this live. Yeah, let's do this. Get a Prowess trigger. Prowess is so sweet. I feel like this deck's awesome. Okay, put 1 into my hand. Entity's coming in. That goes to the deck. And this can go out. We already played land, but it was a risk we were willing to take, I guess. Yeah, I think I did just... I think that was definitely misplay. I think the truth is I should have just... Explosive iteration and just played the land after. That's how you learn. It's crazy, the more that you play a deck, the more just the lines become... Pyromancer, then Lurrus. The lines become so easy, you don't really even think about it. You know, like, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is this, right? Which is really nice. Magma spray, sure. Smells like smoke in my house. I hope my house isn't burned down. I think it's because I have the window open. But if you don't see me for a couple weeks, hopefully it wasn't that. Okay, so that's gone, which is not a big deal. I want to be doing Stormwing anyways next turn. Sure. Yield. Okay. So they got 2 cards in their hand. We have 4 to be 5. So I definitely want to get another Stormwing out here. 1, 1, 2. Yeah, I think we are going to take 2 life. Fair enough. Okay, so let's Wild Slash here. Then let's Stormwing. Ooh, another Stormwing is really nice. This can go on the bottom. Okay, so we've got another Stormwing. We've got a blocker for Arcanist here. And we definitely have the ability to just, like, wreck this. We have answers to Lurrus. And we have answers to Kroxa. Yep, we have another one coming up, so we're fine with that. The issue is next turn they can Arcanist Bloodchief Thirst again. So it's like... I don't want to get rid of these. I don't want to get rid of those. Because I know Lurrus is kicking around. I've been playing Prowess for a long time in various formats. It's like second nature to me. Well, you're on the ball, man, because Prowess is a sweet ability. Super sweet. So, 1, 2. Do I just double Wild Slash this Arcanist here? So Wild Slash, Magma Spray, so it goes bye-bye. Play Entity and hope off our Scry we find an answer for Lurrus. Like, I don't really want to do that, but I feel like it's the... Because we just lose this Stormwing, and I don't want to lose the Stormwing, right? I haven't played Delver. I missed that whole era. That's kind of like a gap that I wasn't playing. Oh, Dive Down and Sprite Dragon. Oh, I wish I drew these cards. Put on top. Put on top. All right. Don't have an answer. They could Lurrus, Pyromancer. There's Stitcher, so if they had a Kroxa, it'd be not great. They didn't, but they did hit another freaking Arcanist. Which is fine, though, because if we can stick the Dive Down, we can just let it be. Issue is life total now. So we know what our next 2 cards are, and they're not, like... They're not epic, but they're pretty good. They have Lurrus, so here comes Lurrus, I think. Oh, they're gonna Fame, okay. Alright, sure. So they have Lurrus and something else in their hand. I'm gonna take 3. the attack here correct? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I think putting a bit of pressure on here is good. Because this Arcanist Bloodchief's Thirst Up isn't going to happen next turn. Then we can have Sprite Dragon out when I dive down. Get a Prowess trigger and a +1/+1. Fatal Push. See, Fatal Push is... That's why Storming Entity is sick here, because Fatal Push doesn't trigger it. Also, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Man, if we had seen a Bedlam Reveler, that would have been sick. It would have cost us 2 to fill our hand up. It's wild. Okay, here's Lurrus. Here comes Arcanist. Fine. The Arcanist isn't going to do jack shit, because we're going to dive down next turn. When they go to target it, we'll trade. Actually, dive down is going to be sick here, because they're going to attack with Lurrus and Arcanist, thinking they're going to kill Stormwing, but we're going to have the dive down to get rid of Lurrus. It's going to be really good. Okay. I don't know what the card they have in their hand is, but I think we can sneakily... I think we can get rid of Lurrus, which is something I definitely want to do. They got push, thirst. They do have a Dreadbore that they could do the next turn. Maybe they just target Dreadbore here. So like maybe the best thing is to Stormwing, Arcanist, and just trade the Sprite Dragon, because we're just gonna lose the Sprite Dragon the next turn anyways. Swing with both. Do it. Oh, this guy's smart. He's too conservative. All right. He's gonna have to pay, which is fine. Gets a trigger there. Damn, I wish they had attacked with Lurrus. Like, they know. Sure. The dive down. Trigger. Okay, so they're all tapped out. So now we can kill, which is nice. Can't. 4/7. No trigger. Go to blocks. Block. Yeah, I wish they had swung with Lurrus. Okay, we would really like Bedlam Rover off the top, or not a land. Oh, that's not really gonna help. They don't have a Fame in here though, right? Do we just leave up the blockers? Do we go to 12? Is that really that instrumental? I'm not going to attack. See, I wish we had those, like, pay 1, sack the land, like Modern has, like Some Big Canyon, Waterlogged Grove. That'd be a sick card to have in this deck. Also, we have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands in an 18-land deck? I think we have 18, right? What do we have? Yeah, we have 18 lands. So that's a pretty large proportion of our mana base. Reverse, eh? I'll trade. They must have something. I'm really surprised they just attacked with Lurrus there. Oh, come on. Well, we gotta fake something. Yeah, we did. I'm glad we got rid of the Lurrus. I'm really surprised they attacked with Lurrus. Like, I'm super surprised. But I'm also fine that we could trade a couple guys here. Yeah, he's waiting for a spell. Well. I'm not going to play the Steam Vent, so I'm going to hold it. They have one card in their hand. I think I just try and get rid of a Pyromancer now. Because they're going to become way too... They're going to become way too nutty if they're making like 3/1 drops. I'm hoping they have like a Thoughtseize or something. Alright, we got rid of one. A Reveler would be really nice here. Even like another Expressive Iteration. I think we put one, we bottomed one, so we're pretty far away from one of them. Ooh, that's... Ooh. Okay, it's gonna put us to 1. Oh, we're just dead. Right? They just swing with everyone. Okay. We're just dead. What are we gonna draw? Okay, it wasn't meant to be. We're gonna draw another land. Okay, so yeah, definitely need something for the sideboard. For graveyards. Maybe we do need, I think we do need the Arcanist. Ditch the Shock. Ditch a Spell Pierce. Yeah. Okay. The Arcanist, I think, is... If we had drawn more Arcanists, we could have had... Maybe found an answer. Cast some more Ops. Cast some more Wild Slash. They are keeping Fatal Push, but... I'm not, like, too concerned. But also, yeah, that was, like, a ton of our lands. This is more like it. This is a really good hand. 2 Spire Bluffs is pretty sick. Get a Swift Spear out. Freaking animals down here going crazy. Alright. Attack. Yep. Urborg. Push. Okay, that's fine. Yep. Yep. Okay, we're just gonna yield. We have a bunch of opts, so we'll try and find a land. Okay, they got a passage. Sure, stitch them up. Ooh, there's a bunch of Croxes. I think the correct play here is to actually... Hopefully I don't have a Village Rites. Okay, so we exiled that. Let's opt. Arcanist. I don't think we want Arcanist at this moment. That's fine. Reef's good there. I think Magma Spraying Stitcher Supplier was good. Doesn't give them the extra couple cards that they need. Here we're gonna opt. Soul Scar. We don't want that. We'd like some interaction. Blue, colorless. Let's get an entity out here. We're gonna scry, which is gonna be really good. Mage. Okay, so we don't want that. I think we're gonna bottom both of these, unfortunately. The Mage would have been good had we had a few more, like, shocks, magma sprays, stuff like that. But we have a potentially pretty good turn next turn. Sprite Dragon, opt, trigger, maybe find something. Hit for 6. Okay, Lurrus is in the hand, that's fine. Okay, let's play the Canal. Blue, red, dragon. Take a damage. Let's opt. Okay, no more lands. We are set for lands. Please, no more lands. I think we can take an Arcanist at this point. Okay, so go for 6. It's unfortunate we can't, like, haste the Arcanist. Is there a 1-mana card that gives you guys haste? Probably nothing as good as, like, Crash Through, where you get to trample and draw a card, right? 2, 3, 4. They got 6 cards. Sack that. We're just gonna yield. I'm assuming they probably have something like a Dreadbore here. They're stuck on. Why didn't they fetch for a mountain? Yeah, they had Bloodchief's Thirst. Okay, fair enough. Oh, I gotta close it after this. Okay. This is just like sick at this point, right? Expedite does and draws a card. Oh, that. Like with Arcanist, it might not be a bad Expedite MTG. Oath the Gatewatch. Target creature. Oh, target creature, which is fine actually. That might not be horrible. The thing is, Crash Through, even just between yesterday and today, was enough to get through for the win a couple times, right? Like, we were able to get that flying trample damage through and win by like 1 or 2 points. So that's a tough one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they can get a Lurrus out now. Oh, that was shitty. Okay, well, we're kind of flooding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we bottomed a couple. We only have 18 lands. Pretty brutal. I'm not quite sure, like, what to say. We're just flooding like crazy. Oh, we gotta hit opt. Try and find something with opt. Okay, Stormwing's okay. Mind you, they just Bloodchief's Thirst. That takes away their ability to Crocs at next turn, though. Maybe we can find something. Oh man, MOTL just play like a game or two. It just slows down my computer. Well, I mean, might as well take the cantrip because it's something. I'm actually just gonna close out really quick. Oh, you have to concede. I don't want to concede. Okay. Nope, nope, nope. I thought I could quickly just reset on his turn, but I can't. Cancel, cancel. Okay. They're kind of flooding a bit too, to be fair, but they run 22 lands. We run 18. Bloodchief's Thirst is fair. Yep. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. You got it, bud. Reveler would be really sick right about now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like we got tons. 10. Are they playing Lurrus? I wouldn't play Lurrus if I was you. Can you just go Magma Spray it? Arcanist versus Arcanist. Good times. Okay, so we know what we're drawing. Push. K command. Alright. I will, sure, I'll discard. Okay, let's Crash Through. Trample, we'll draw. We got a Wild Slash. Okay, well, let's go to combat. I think we're gonna opt. Yep. Okay, we're gonna do that. We are gonna cast it. Swift Spear is not what we're looking for at this point. Oh my god, so many lands. Well, might as well play it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Brutal. Brutal. No, might as well just slash your face for 2, seeing as we're gonna discard it anyways. Between yesterday and today, I think we've been pretty unlucky with the amount of card draw or land draw we've experienced. I feel like it's been a ton. What did they just do? Cast it. Yeah, fair enough. It'll push. Seems good. Okay, Bedlam Reveler here would be okay. Have no blockers. Okay. Well, it's something. One into my hand. None of those are going to do it. All right. Okay. Draw. What was after these? Wild Slash. Reveler was not in our cards. Okay. We got to close this because it's brutal. And then we'll just reopen it. I think we're going to try Soul Guide. I think that's what we need to try. Okay, so we can probably ditch. I think I'm just going to completely get rid of these Rolling Vortex. I don't know. It wouldn't have made a difference that match. Let's try Soul Guide. 1 to sideboard, 2 to sideboard. Okay, let's try this. Nope, not League. Sorry, Tournament Practice. Give me 2 seconds. see what we got. I think this can work. Yep, keep. Seems okay, actually. Spire. Oh, they're first. Good old Seas of Thought. Might as well. If they got a push, sure enough. This might just be like mono black aggro. Okay. Let's see. Heartless Act, hey? Let's just protect this. They only have 3 cards in their hand, so take 2, waste a turn. I think that's okay. Sure. Jeez, this guy's answer for everything, hey? Might have been best to do Stormwing there. If they have another Fatal Push, though, like, really? That would be, I mean, let's be honest, that would be impressive. Start with an opt. Put on the bottom. Pathway, sure. This for this. Bottom, and this is wonderful on top. Thank you very much. Combat. This. Let's take an opt. Yep. Yep. This is more like what the deck's supposed to do. I think they're stuck on lands, though. They have to be. Yeah. So we were going to see these 3. Probably would have took Reef, Iteration, played Iteration. Mono black, eh? I think that's what they're playing. Well, Reveler's probably good in this matchup, too. Let's bring a couple Spell Pierce out. We'll bring a couple Magma Spray in. Take the shocks out. Because, yeah, if they're playing mono black, they have a ton of Graveyard Recursion. So we're going to try and sneak that out. Lightning Strike can probably go. These seem good. I'm going to cut a Wild Slash. And I'm going to cut a Soul Scar. Let's try this. Mulligan. Don't have any creatures. So I guess keep. Ditch the mountain. Okay. Was that like blue-black control? But they just... Oops. Yeah, attack. Thank God there's a stop on attack. Because I just hit yield to a turn. Yeah, push. This must be what it feels like when I fatal push everyone's creatures. got? What do we got? Unmoored Ego seems kind of weird. What are they naming? Targeting Tempt My Terror, and they're what are they gonna put in this? The Forever Sin bin. What is it? What are you taking? Dreadhorde Arcanist. Okay. I'm not like heartbroken by that. It's not really gonna enable us to like win. So what can we do? We could do 1, 2, 3 damage next turn, and depending on what we draw. Ooh, that's really good. That was a good draw. So let's crash through. Okay, so now do I want to... This is not the match for Ego. Yeah, I don't know why... Unmoored Ego makes no sense to me. Like, I'm... Unmoored Ego's for, like, Lotus Combo. Nip Delight. Like, get rid of those things. I probably would have named Stormwing, too. They must have an answer for Stormwing. That's why I'm pondering, like... Do I play it here? I think I'm going to opt. If I can find a land, I'll play Stormwing next turn. Because I can... Yeah, let's put this on top. Because I can protect it. I guess I do need to draw a cantrip. Or like a 1-mana something. Because this is just target creature, yeah. I also thought they were playing... I shouldn't have brought Magma Spray in, to be honest. I thought they were playing... I thought they were playing mono black. I didn't see blue last game, so oh well. Yeah, I think Stormwing's more of a threat too, to be honest, but to each their own. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tigger's Lantern. Okay, so they're playing some kind of like jank. Whatever player sacks it onto the ground, discards a card. Loses 3 life. I'm just gonna lose the life. Lose 3 life. Yeah, just strange. Yeah, I didn't see blue, so I was like, oh, okay. What do I know? We draw another one. That's kind of shitty, actually. So at this point, like, do we just dive down the Swift Spear to get an entity out? Because if not, like, we're not really doing anything. And we have 2, so we can try to set up for the next 2 turns. So bottom that. Sprite Dragon can go on top. Go to combat. 2. Whenever one sacks a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card onto the graveyard. Oh, that's Tegrid. God, if I'm looking at the lantern. There's 3 life. Oh, there's that. Okay. So now they just want to steal our shit? What if I can get rid of this? You think I can, like, combat math this way? Could Magma Spray Swift Spear Prowess resolve before the spell? Yeah, no, that's true. I think here, though, I can play Sprite Dragon. They don't gain life from this, right? Let's see. Okay. So I think I can play Sprite Dragon. I can go to combat. If they block the Swift Spear, I can hit it for 2. Swift Spear just 2. That's only 4. Yeah, previous turn. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I didn't. I just got that. Like, maybe right now it's best to... Like, maybe right now my best play is to... When my opponent sacks a non-token, discards a permanent card. So maybe I Magma Spray this. Entity. Trigger. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, so maybe... So maybe it's best I Magma Spray the Swift Spear. It goes away forever, who cares? I play Stormwing. I can see what's coming up. I have then swing for 4. I have 6 on the battlefield next turn with a Sprite Dragon. Might as well just attack, see what they do. See if I can get in. Okay, so maybe I just... He's not blocking, right? So Magma Spray this. Trigger. Get in for 4/6. And I can still Entity. Let's do that. So let's just hit this. Prowess. 4/5. Tegrid's a 4/5. So like I can put it to 1, but not enough. Okay, so now we can Stormwing again, which lets us scry 2. Shivan can go to the bottom. Crash Through is okay, actually. Yeah, just out of range. So now the issue is here. They can do 7 damage to me between Tegrid and the Lantern. But I have... Yeah. Dude, if they put Lightning Bolt and Pioneer, that'd be it. Dude, Lightning Bolt's my favorite card. Oh, I can't do that because there's a sticky. Anyways, I've got like a shrine to like all the different kinds of Lightning Bolts. Lightning Bolt's my jam. We're going to lose 3 life. 3 cards in hand. So, like, we win next turn if they don't get rid of the entities, right? Because that's 6 in the air. That's 7 in the air. Prowess draw card is 8, 9, 10 if we draw into something else. Okay, that seems good. Flying Death Touch Lifelink. Okay, that seems good. They have 2 cards in their hand. Okay, so let's hope we hit something good off this Crash Through. Or they have a counter. We're going to Crash Through. Look at all these triggers. That's beautiful. So they could gain 4. I mean, like, I can just die to Tegrid next turn. That's 7 and then something else. Mind you, we do have... So this is where Crash Through is good, I think, because it's just given us Trample. Blue spell. Oh, God, so many lands. Okay. Yeah, block there. Block there. They're going to gain 4, but we're going to get 1 through. So they're going to take 4, 7. They'd be at 4, if I'm correct. Oh, no. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. Okay. Well, that's shit. Okie dokie. They just had so much removal this game. And, like, hitting a Shivan Reef is pretty crap. Not good. I think this is the only issue with this deck is, like, now we're... I don't think... You're right. I don't think people expect Trample to come through so often, so... Crash Through is actually decent. You can have a land if you want. I'm not going to lose 3 more life. You're already, like, staffed full of lands, right? So, this is the issue now, though. Like, we draw that land, and it's basically our death, right? 1, 2, 3. What are they doing for? We have not seen Bedlam Reveler at all. Why is this happening again? Or they do it at the end of their last turn. Yeah, I see. Alright. Oh no, you can untap it. That's shitty. Uh, 6, 5, just dead. Yeah, it can untap. It can untap, that's so silly. It's nothing we can like play out of our graveyard, hey? It's too bad that the card we drew was a land. Yeah. Oh god. Oh, what's happening? Okay, you're my witness. Yesterday and today we have not been having a good time with lands. They have been horrendous. I'm gonna bring disputes in, a braid because that thing is ridiculous. Okay. So let's change it up a bit. Dive down can come out. Magma spray can come out. Wild slash, crash through, spell pierces, braids. Maybe we get rid of an Arcanist, seeing if they're running. Yeah, no problem, man. See you when you get back. Let's try this. They're running blue, so Mystical Dispute's good. Spell Pierce is good. A braid to get rid of the lantern, I think, is going to be good. I think this is an okay hand. As long as we don't draw any more land. Pioneer's so fresh. I love it. It's awesome. Let's go. Like, this is cool stuff to be doing. Yeah, it's, I guess, essentially a bit powered down for Modern, but whatever. Are they pushing already? Probably. Yep. All right. Black is the best 1-drops, and poor little old every other color that has no good 1-drops. Like removal. Black has Thoughtseize and Fatal Push. It's brutal. Alright, so double black. Like for Heartless Act, maybe? Seems really good. Well, we're gonna go for it. If they Heartless Act it, fair enough. We'll get the scry. Wild Slash can go on the bottom. I think a braid can go on top. Let's just put the braid. You never know. Each player mills 4 cards. You may exile a creature. Planeswalker card. What the hell is this? They may, until end of turn, you may cast spells exiled. Alright. It's interesting. Arcanist, Soulscar, or Braid. Take grid, opt, Fatal Push. Then you may exile a creature or planeswalker from each graveyard. Okay. So they'll probably take Arcanist and then take grid. So they got rid of our Braid. Which is kind of shitty, but I think we're going to hit for a decent chunk of damage this turn. Oh, that's good too. Okay. So let's start with this and this. We're going to iteration. Maybe I shouldn't have played land, but whatever. Okay. Well, I shouldn't have played land, let's be real. Ooh. Okay. Put 1 into my hand. Dispute. 1 on the bottom. Iteration. And then exile this. And I think we're going to play that. That seems good. Seems good. It's a big boy. It's a big boy. That can go on the bottom. Wild Slash can go on top. There we go. Alright, sweet. So we're going to draw Wild Slash next turn. If they didn't have an answer, we would have had, like, a decent chunk. Decent chunk of damage. Okay. This deck is sweet. I think it's got some awesome lines. You really need to draw good in this deck. That's not good. This is got potential, I guess. Yeah. What do we ditch? We throw back a lightning strike. Yeah. Okay. Ditch that. Done. Play. It's just opt now. Land. Beautiful. Put on top. Draw. Yield to this turn. Okay. I think we're doing it. Seems good. This deck seems good. It seems fast. What are we, Grave? We're not playing the same guy again, are we? Let's just Steam Vent, because then if we Steam Vent right now, we have the ability to play River Guide or Lava Guide. It all depends on our situation. So I think that's the correct play. Yep. Yield. Okay, so hit him for 1. Pass the turn. I don't think this is the person we just played, but might be. Fatal Push. Sure. Okay, so let's play this as this. 1, 2, play another one. Combat. Shock them. Counter, go for 4. See if they got an answer. Another Fatal Push. All right. Search away. What'd they just do? Played Overgrown Tomb. Okay. Oh, I played a land again. I keep forgetting about that with iteration. Not to do that. Okay, so put 1 in my hand. 1 on the bottom. Then this. I'm not worried about Soul Scar. Blue. Stormwing. Yep, let's see the next 2. I'd love to be able to protect it if they don't kill it. Yep, always yield. Put on bottom, put on top. Okay. I can go away. Yield. Okay, you do your thing. 2, 3, 4. Oh, don't kill the entity. Be sweet to protect it. Yep. Okay. Well. Well, we got something, I guess. All right. Oh, shit. I'm lacking. Switch the pathway, get a forest. Or forest card. Alright. What the hell is happening here? Play another land, 3 cards in hand. I just find it so funny people find so many Fatal Push. There's Tasker, sure. This is a real weird deck. Mill 2 cards, return an online card of an opponent's choice from your graveyard, sure. Oh, there's a blocker I can't get through. Oh, we draw land. Alright. I've never drawn... We have 18 lands in our deck. 4, 5, 6, 7 in the first couple turns. Something is not liking us. Okay, let's bring these in. Spell Pierce. Soul Guides. Revelers. Shocks can go. Dive Down can go. Strikes can go. Slash. Or is that taking away too many cantrips? At least these can go to the face. Maybe we're gonna cut an Arcanist or 2. And we'll cut a Dispute. 2 Disputes probably enough. I feel like this is hard to really gauge interest, or not gauge interest, sorry. Oh god, this is brutal. Okay, let's keep this. Ditch the Crash through. I feel like this is hard to gauge this deck's competitiveness fully, for the simple fact that we haven't really played against, like... That's the issue with when you play, like, the Pioneer tournament testing. You're not playing against, like, the meta decks, right? And, like, if you're going to an LGS, I'm going to say, like, 80% of the decks, at least, let's say 75% of the decks are meta. The other 25%, let's say, are, like, Joe Blow's Brew. So it's nice to know how you compare to, like, the real meta. I don't feel like we haven't been in any of these games, though, which is good. We've got a Reef. Let's do this. So, oops, red, blue. Yeah, like, you know what? Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? It almost, like, sometimes I feel like you make a deck that's supposed to be, like, a top tier deck or one of the meta decks, and you get discouraged because you're like, I lost to this random Brew. It's like, well, sometimes these decks play best against the other decks in the meta, right? So some of these, like, weird decks where people are playing, like, Tagrid and Lanterns and stuff, it's like, it's just harder to gauge. But the fact that the deck can get around it is good too. It shows, like, the strength of the deck. I think last game was rough because this guy hit us with, like, 3 Fatal Push right away. It was like push. And then a Drown the Lock, which wasn't really nice either. Okay, so they got a full grip. Do I want to go Swift Spear, Opt, 2/4/6 rather than Entity? I think I'm going to do that. Because we had another cantrip here. Be 9 damage. Well, might as well play it. Watch him with just, like, Cry the Carnarium or something. I'll legit cry. Big GG. Good games, my friend. I wonder if not Crash Through. I wonder if Chart a Course would be okay in this deck. I guess the issue is Crash Through would have been okay there. Crash Through into Sprite Dragon 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Close. I guess the issue with Chart a Course is you want to be doing these cantrips during or before combat, right? Like Crash Through before, Opt during combat, Wild Slash during combat. Yeah, exactly. You want to play Chart post combat. Yeah. I'm wondering if, like, I really like Expressive Iteration. I don't know if there's a time that you should side it out though. I think it's too important in this deck because like those matches where you have one card in your hand and you draw a bunch of lands, or you have a bunch of mana out. Expressive Iteration can be like, ditch the crappy card coming up, find something you can play now, find something you can play with off the exile. Like that's pretty strong. We have yet to see Bedlam Reveler. I think that's an all-star card. I don't know if Soul Guide even does anything here. I know they have Tegrid, but like I can't even remove the graveyard in response to Delve. So I'm like I'm thinking to go back to Dive Down. Do we just bring Shock back in to do 2 to the face? Like maybe Lightning Strike comes in because it's a 3. We have 2 Arcanist. Let's do this. Let's do an Arcanist and let's do a Lightning Strike. Lightning Strike might be enough if we hit them fast and they're down to like 3 or 4. Could be a finisher. And Arcanist unchecked. Well, we just know what Arcanist unchecked can help us do. Dive Down has been pretty sweet. Oh, this is like no lander. There's been a couple awkward moments where the Wild Slash. There's been a couple awkward moments where I can see why they don't play 4 ever. That totally makes sense to me. Okay, if we draw land, we don't have to opt. It might just be okay to Soul Scar here anyways. I think that's fine because we can always opt next turn. Get in for 2. Yeah, Dive Down. I think Dive Down has been sweet, personally. So this is sweet, actually. Soul Scar here is... Okay, we draw land. Draw land. Well, there's the there's the Reveler we've been thinking about. So do we risk it? Do I risk opting? Hopefully find something to Wild Slash. I think I'm gonna do it. I don't know if this is the right play. We're just playing for fun, so we can make mistakes here. Beautiful. Give it the -1/-1 counters, which is pretty sick. No Death Touch, no Lifelink, my friend. Go to combat with a 3/4. No trample though, unfortunately, but still, we'll get rid of the Aetherborn. That's like when you take those risky lines right there that could really not pay off, and it's like, ah, shit, should I have just Wild Slashed? I think we needed to do that regardless because we were low on mana. Okay, let's just go in for 1. I wish I had a cantrip. Okay. Let's get the Arcanist out. If they want to kill it, That's totally fine. Man, it is too bad that Brainstorm is not in this format. Or like Sarah Visions, Ponder, Preordain. Preordain probably the most fair, I think. That'd be sick. Yes, it's not instant speed and opt. I think it would be good though. Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. I'm fine with them doing that rather than getting rid of like a Stormwing or something. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Serum Visions, Preordain. Like, I think that's something. Yeah, even Sleight of Hand. I don't think Op's a bad card, actually. I just wish you could see. I wish we could see more. Even like with Preordain. I think it's Preordain, right? Where it's like to draw a card, then scry 2. Like, I don't even care as long as it sets us up. It sets us up a bit better. I don't know. I think this Spell Pierce is going to be real important here. Because they were running things like Binding. So if they play a land and play Binding, we can just Spell Pierce it. Another reason why I think Arcanist is good in this deck is that it's fodder for like even bigger removal than push. Like Drown in the Lock's a pretty powerful card, and they wanted to use it with. Oh, this is sick too. They wanted to use it to get rid of Arcanist, which is a strong play, right? So, like, I'm fine trading an Arcanist for something like that. Also, Spell Pierce here was clutch. They're trying to gain life, and we're just like, nope. I liked Opt fine. Not the best cantrip, was good enough. Instant speed is nice. 100%. I think the strength in Opt is the instant speed. But I don't know. I feel like I would take the sorcery speed. For those other cards, right? Just personally, but we cannot find a land to save our life, and we're drawing our big guys. So Reveler is what, 8? So it's 5 to cast right now. I'm just waiting to get like board wiped. Ritual of Soot, Cry the Carnarium. That's gonna hurt. Okay, there's the Binding. Even modern decks play Opt over Serum now. Now lots. Or a lot, because it's better with Snappy. Yeah, that's true, actually. That's true. There's something to be said about playing things at instant speed. Like, look at Control. Their whole deck is built around playing on your opponent's turn, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're getting there. So we can't do anything. We can swing in for 2. Countering that Swift End was pretty clutch because that 2/3 would have shut us down and gained them a lot of life. Yeah, I can see. I could honestly see the. I don't think no OP's not playing a meta deck. I don't know what he's playing. I think he's just playing like Sultai. I like these cards. I don't know. He was playing Tassiger. So, yeah, this is not like a meta deck that I've seen. I think the meta's pretty flushed out for Pioneer right now, in the sense that like Niv Delight's #1. This is the meta. Spirits has come up big. Jund Sacrifice is moving up. That deck's annoying. Izzet Phoenix has been moving down. Same with Dimir Control. This Collected Company deck was kind of floating around. Seems to go down. Burn always kind of lingers. Pyromancer is now, like, I think it's missing a couple pieces. What is this? Maybe this is what this guy's playing. No. This is like Sultai control. What happened? Hostage taker, my soul scar, and then they something. This isn't gonna do anything, right? What is this? One less for each instant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, 7, 8. Wonderful. And then like you never even see, you hardly ever see. This is coming up though. This is kind of the deck we're playing. It's probably the newest deck in this meta page. Enigmatic Fires is kind of floating around. I never see mono red aggro. Honestly, I see Niv Delight a ton, Spirits a ton, Jund Sacrifice I've been seeing more. Dimir Control was everywhere for a while. Pyromancer is kind of cool, and I see Burn. Those are the decks I see the most, to be honest. This guy's got all the ramp. Sure. You got it. I got no response. Like, I don't even want a Bedlam Reveler because I don't want to lose these entities. I don't really want to pay 5 for an entity. 1, 2, 3. Just play the Murderous Rider. Yep. Alright. Dispute, so we can't do anything. We're just going to call this. It was just rough. One. Oh. Wow. We had another Stormwing. Couldn't do anything. Sprite Dragons. That was just a bad. We just drew bad. Alright. Let's look at. No, nothing we could do there. What are we? In the games we've played so far, what's been I feel like our issues have been mainly around mana, which has been more than not drawing too much, which is kind of a funny concept for an 18 land deck. And then that game we were just lacking. Is there something we can take out? Is there something we could change? To this point, I haven't even really used Lightning Strike. So like, yeah, maybe like Bone Crusher is what we want to do here. Oh, I don't think I have any Bone Crushers. Let me see if I can snag a Bone Crusher too. Oops, can't spell. Okay, check out. Okay, let's try something. I think we're gonna try Bone Crusher. I think I want to try Bone Crusher. I'm gonna take a shock out. I'm gonna put 3 Bone Crushers in. Let's just try. We're gonna try that. I just need Card Hoarder to send me a trade request really quickly. Yeah. I think Bone Crusher. I think Bone Crusher could do it here. Let's try this. Oops. Why does the trades always do that? Okay. Okay, cool. Let us Bone Crusher. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna try 3. Let's do this. Let's try this. I don't really want to play that guy again. I'd like to try against someone else. Let's ditch this. I mean, Spikefield's an option too. Like maybe like Spikefield is okay as well. Of course, I don't have any Spikefields. We'll just get one. Let's get a couple. Let's try. We'll cut a Bone Crusher, and then let's do 2 Bone Crusher and a Spikefield. Spikefield has the potential to help us with our mana issue we're having. These got to be like a penny, right? Literally a penny each. Okay, let's just take 4. Magic Online is so cheap. Love it. Okay, let's cut a Bone Crusher. We'll do a Spikefield Hazard. Let's try this. Okay. We'll try the Spikefield with 2 Bone Crushers. So take out 2 Lightning Strikes. We were like siding Lightning Strike out most matches anyways. So keeping them in gives us a 4/3 body. Spikefield potentially brings us up to 19 lands, which I think could be I think it could be quite useful, but also against decks like the Croxa, it's like main deck go bye-bye. Let's try it. I think we can keep this, yeah. Yeah, I think yesterday I cast Lightning Strike once. And I don't think I cast this single time other than that, so Bone Crusher. Well, hey man, Eldraine's like the strongest standard set of all time, so Bone Crusher must be good, right? I also like this. I don't know when it could come into play, but the damage can't be prevented this turn could, and in some weird scenario, actually be something worth noting. So we'll pass. I think we'll opt on the end of their turn. What are you doing? Dog's going crazy over there. All right. Okay, let's opt. They've got steam vents. Yeah, we will take a land, sure. Okay, so let's just Sprite Dragon, I guess. We can get around protection if they block with a pro-red creature. Ah, okay, that makes mucho sense. I like that. Yeah, so just that I think is another reason to include it. Like I definitely think it's an include. Like, you know, for not even really casting Lightning Strike and then siding it out. And yesterday my point was like, oh, that extra 1 damage might mean something, but I don't really think it's going to mean anything if we're not casting it, we're taking it out. I think we're playing a mirror match, and they cast Lightning Strike after we talked about not playing it. Too funny. I think I would like to get a entity out here. Should we draw Another cantrip? Something? Cantrip or one-man spell? Yeah, true. Yeah, exactly. So we can't target the pro-red creature with Bone Crusher, if anyone's wondering. But if they block with something pro-red, in response, we Bone Crusher their face, damage goes through, pro-red goes bye-bye. Which is wonderful. That sounds wonderful. Okay, so let's Wild Slash here. I think because we have a decent amount of mana, I think the right thing is to Entity here. We can scry to see what we have coming up, which I think is going to be a big help. So, like, put that on the bottom. Now we know we have an Iteration coming up. So we can, I think we Shivan Reef, Sprite Dragon, then Iteration. Get in for 5. Who knows? We'll see. We might Bone Crusher depending on what they play. Yeah, I think you're right. I think yesterday when you were saying Bone Crusher over Lightning Strike. Hey dog, what's going on? I think you were correct. Oh, you big yawns. This is my dog Bane. Bane from Batman. Alright, so they're opting. Yeah, the mirror is going to be interesting because I think they're just going to play an Entity here too. Alright, Entity. We have the advantage in the attack right now, though, where we can Prowess and beat it. They're tapped out. You're strange, man. Okay. Or do we try, or do we... There's a couple different lines here, obviously, and there's a couple different scenarios depending on what they do. Right, so we can Shivan Reef. We can Sprite Dragon. We can go to combat. See if he tries to block the Sprite Dragon with Stormwing, which I highly doubt it. If that's the case, then we can Bone Crusher, trade. Get in for 4. Not having this is an issue. We could Expressive Iteration to see if we hit... like double Wild Slash or something to be able to take out the Stormwing. Like, I don't know what the correct play is here. Like, this is like when you realize, okay, I haven't played this deck enough to know what the best thing is here. Is it best to just attack, see if he blocks? Maybe we just attack here. See if they go for the trade. I highly doubt it with 4 mana open. So we hit them for 3. We Iteration to see what we get. And worst case, we just... like Bone Crusher their face at the end of their turn. I don't think that... And then we have a 4-3 next turn. If we draw a land... If we find a land off Iteration, we can have a 4-3 and Sprite Dragon next turn. You would just attack that Iteration. Okay, let's do that. But if they choose to block, we'll clearly just pump. They're not going to block, though. It'd be just ridiculous if they blocked here. They're not going to block. It makes absolutely 0 sense for them to block with 4 mana open. So they take 3, go to 14. We're going to Iteration. We'll see what we hit off the Iteration. And then worst case, maybe we just hold Bone Crusher up. See if they play like a Sprite Dragon or something next turn. Maybe we can Bone Crusher the Sprite Dragon in response to a trigger, depending on their mana situation. Then next turn we can Bone Crusher... Exactly. We also could just hit another Entity off Iteration, and that would be sweet as well. Okay, yeah, obviously. So no blocks. Fair enough. So go to 14. We're going to Iteration. Opt, Shivan Reef, Soulscar. So I think we put Opt in our hand. Soulscar can go to the bottom. Like, we're not going to play a Soulscar this turn. Or do we just play a Soulscar and Opt on their turn? Maybe we do that. I don't know if that's the correct play either. It's like, what are the chances that they play a Sprite Dragon without two? You know what I mean? Soulscar threatens. Soulscar also threatens in my mind because if we have, well, we have Bone Crusher, we can actually just start putting -1/-1 counters on their creatures. So, and that might be scary enough for them to think, hey, I got to get rid of Soulscar. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. There's different, I don't know. What do you think we should have done? Should we have held Bone Crusher up and just let Soulscar exile? It's definitely some hard lines, that's for sure. You like the play of Soulscar? Okay. Yeah. Because if they do something like, say they do something like Wild Slash Soulscar here, we can opt in response. So they did find the land. So maybe our line of Bone Crusher to take out a Sprite Dragon wouldn't have even worked. So I like the fact that we could potentially get around a Wild Slash with Opt or Magma Spray, whatever they're playing. Then if they want to put another card to pump into Soulscar, I'm fine with that. They really want to get rid of it that bad. We have other plays we can make, so. But also, Soulscar just threatens as another Prowess creature, right? There's an Arcanist. Okay, that's good. So I think we're definitely going to Bone Crusher Arcanist next turn, so that they don't have the ability to flash anything back. Yeah, exactly. It takes two cards to kill them. Let's say the strike. They've already used a strike. This is before Arcanist came down. And if they're following like meta deck, Goldfish decks, they're only running 2 Lightning Strike. So the chance of them having that extra one's probably pretty slim. So the question is, do I even bother opting? Like, I think I do. I think I still opt. Yeah, do I opt? Opt, we're going to take 1. I mean, I already have... I don't think I'm going to opt. I'm not going to opt. Okay, so I'm glad I didn't opt. So we'll play our land. I think we go Sprite Dragon. Go to combat. This is the first game, so they could have the dive down. So the thing is here, I can just cast Bone Crusher and kill Dread Horde with Soulscar's power. Hit them in the face for 2. Do I just go to the face now? I think I just go to the face. Get some more triggers. Because if they have dive down, I lose Bone Crusher if they have dive down, right? So if they have dive down, I'm not going to kill the Arcanist anyways, and I lose Bone Crusher. This way I can kill Arcanist, get in for a bunch more damage. Like now they're down to 4, yeah. So we can play Bone Crusher. We can crash through. Yeah, exactly. Dive down, exactly. Dive down makes 6 toughness, and then we just lose Bone Crusher because we can't target it, right? So going to the face was the right play there. We have Crash Through, so we can get Trample, which, seeing as they have a flyer and we have 2 flyers, Trample could be, yeah, Trample could be what we needed. Okay, we just have Slash. So that was a pretty sick turn. So we draw Slash, we Crash Through into Steam Vents doesn't help. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, yeah. So we hit him for 2, we swing for like the win with Crash Through, we can play Bone Crusher. Okay, I'm sold on Bone Crusher now. Yeah, I think we did play that pretty good. It wasn't easy though, it definitely required like trying to figure out what they would have and what we would have. So I think a Braid's good here. A Braid takes out Arcanist, a Braid takes out Entity, the initial one. I don't think Dispute here is... I don't think this is worth bringing in. If they're playing like the same thing as us... I mean, I guess it gets rid of a Stormwing, but I'd rather have something like an Abrade that deals with Stormwing and Arcanist. So we're going to leave the Disputes out. I think 1 Reveler could be good here, seeing as we're kind of doing the same thing. Soul Guide. Am I really like that worried about Arcanist? Not in the sense that I want to bring Soul Guide in, because I think it's not the greatest. We don't need Alpine Moon. Magma Spray we could potentially bring in. Spell Pierce. Like, this is... I don't know if Spell Pierce is the greatest thing here either. Like, we're both playing Prowess decks, so whether we resolve the spell or not, we still get that trigger, right? So, to me, Spell Pierce is, like, not something I think is going to alter the game in a big way. But we can see how the second game goes. These could be things that we bring in. Alpine Moon doesn't do anything. Soul Guide. So Spikefield Hazard, I think we can take out here. We would rather have... Exactly. You're just... Spell Pierce is good. You're just targeting shocks and cantrips. Exactly. So Spell Pierce is bad. I think Spikefield here isn't the greatest either. I don't think that 1 damage is going to be too relevant. I'd rather have a Magma Spray. So we brought these in. I think Dive Down. How do I feel about Dive Down right now, too? I feel like Dive Down here isn't... I don't think Dive Down here is game altering. So let's take Dive Down. We're running out of time, sorry. Dive Down is going to come out. I think we can cut a Crash Through. And let's cut a Shock. Okay, just in time. Those last couple might not have been the best, but I spent too much time thinking. All right. That was a really good first game. I think this is a pretty acceptable hand. The Reveler here is probably the weakest, seeing as we have, like, no spells. But I think we can curve pretty good and run the draw. So, like, I think turn 1 is Soul Scar. Then we can Arcanist. Well, it all depends what we draw. They're going to go Swift Spear, I think. Yeah, Swift Spear, sure. What do we got? Steam Vents. I think I actually might just go Swift Spear. Because if they can get rid of Soul Scar, I think Soul Scar is going to be more prevalent later on, actually. Like, once I have 3 mana and we can Soul Scar and Bone Crush or something, even if they Prowess to keep it alive, it'll die once the Prowess goes away if I did enough negatives. Or it just shuts down Arcanist. Like, if they just drop an Arcanist here, It's a Wild Slash. Okay. That's totally fine. They're down to 3 cards already. I think we definitely have some stronger plays here. So they're keeping 1 up for the fear of Bone Crusher. Fine. Or they have opt. Let's go. I think it's fine to get Arcanist out here. We don't have anything, but it could draw something out next turn that requires all their mana if they don't have any more. Yeah, so they got the Scry. I mean, we could have waited with maybe since we don't have anything to trigger with Arcanist here, maybe the right play was to move to the end step, knowing that they had opt, get rid of the Swift Spear in response. That was probably the right play. So I think I screwed that up. The issue is if they didn't have opt or anything, it'd be Bone Crusher. Well. Yeah, that was probably the correct line, now that I'm looking at it. It's crazy, man. You look at a deck and I look at the cards and go, I know how this deck works. I'm going to join a Pioneer League. And I'm glad I didn't, because there are so many lines that I would have done completely incorrect at this point. That was a good draw for lands. So I think we Soul Scar. We're going to be able to just hard cast this. Even if you held up Bone Crusher, they could just hold the opt instead of... No, 100% exactly. Because they think, oh, he's got Lightning Strike, he's got Bone Crusher. So yeah, it's... I don't know. That's like, what's that saying? 6 half of a dozen or whatever? I don't know what it is. 6 of 1 half of a dozen. I don't know. You could have gone either way with it. Wow, so they didn't even like cast a spell that turn. This is when I miss Thoughtseize. I miss Thoughtseize so much because it's like I want to know what you have in your hand and get rid of something. So the issue is here, if they brought Mystical Disputes in, even if I cast Stomp here, which would get rid of this after the Prowess trigger at the end of the step, they can just like straight up hard cast Mystical Dispute and counter Bone Crusher, which I don't really want to lose. They're playing around. Yeah, no, they are. Which, like, fair enough. It's probably not a bad idea for them to be doing that. Magma Spray. Oh, they probably had nothing. Okay, whatever. We probably would have Bone Crushered in response so that our trigger goes off first, killing that at the end of the turn. We would have had, what, Swift Spear next turn? We probably would have played Swift Spear and a Bone Crusher. We were looking okay, actually. We were not finding any 1-mana spells. Look at this. That's wild. There's an Abrade finally. All right. Okay, so my initial thoughts on this deck is that this deck is good. Also, I think I'm gonna ditch this Spikefield Hazard. I think Bone Crusher is really good. I'm gonna put a third Bone Crusher in. Okay, so my thoughts on this deck after playing it for 2 days, because I'm not gonna lie, it's 7 o'clock. I might have to run. My initial thoughts is this: this deck has a ton of different lines you could take each turn, and I think you can't rush it like I have been. So I've definitely, like, even in the last 2 days, I've rushed and made some mistakes that have cost me the game or set up some really crappy turns after. So it's definitely not like you look at this and you think, okay, just play hasty creatures and these spells and knock them down. Well, that's not the case. There's fatal push running around everywhere, whatever, all that stuff. So I think this deck is sick. I think this deck is really strong. I think you need to draw good because if you flood out in this deck, you're really screwed with only having 2 1 mana draws, and if you hit expressive iteration, that can solve your issue. Okay, so like expressive iteration is probably the most important card. Yeah, I'm gonna keep playing it. I'm gonna keep playing this deck. Thanks, man. I'm glad. I'm glad you think the stream is fun and chill. That's the goal. Just play some cards and have a good time. Also, I'm trying to learn, and hopefully it's informational too, because I think that's an issue. Like I built decks before in the past that on paper looked really good and didn't fit my play style, and I never succeeded with them. Right, and when you're buying cards, it's a ton of money. But yeah, I think I think expressive iteration is an all-star in this deck. That card I think can lead you to victory more so than a lot of the other cards in the deck. So expressive iteration I think is the best card. An Arcanist that can fire off cards from the graveyard is incredible. I think the issue is everyone knows how powerful Arcanist is at this point, and they're not letting it live, right? Which is fine, because if they want to use the removal on Arcanist, I think that's totally acceptable. It's like when I used to play Esper Hero, and they wanted to get rid of Hero of Precinct 1, and everyone's like, that's crazy, that's the main card of the deck, it's what it's built around. It's fine, because you have other threats that if you can take the removal off your other threats, that's totally fine. So they get rid of an Arcanist, and you have a Sprite Dragon, and you have Opt Shock in your hand. I think a 5 damage Sprite Dragon with all those cantrips and extra damage is stronger than an Arcanist. Maybe not in a late game, but early on when you're trying to put the pressure on. The thing is too, when you're putting pressure on your opponent and they're down to like 9 life on turn 3 or 6 life on turn 4, they have to deal with your threats or else they lose. But by dealing with their threats, we're also pushing them off their game plan. And with things being hasty in this deck, having haste, Swift Spears, Sprite Dragons, Wild Slashing their face, Shock in their face, Bone Crushing their face, like you can definitely do some damage. I think Bone Crusher is a good creature as well, because if they want to remove it, once again, they take 2 life. So, to me, those are awesome. Stormwing Entity is a bomb. The fact that you can get that card out in turn 3 is ridiculous. The Scry 2 off that, I think, is really important as well, especially if you're digging for lands, or you need some more you need some more cantrips, you need some more damage, Wild Slash, find a Bone Crusher, find another entity if you have a 1 mana card in your hand. Those are awesome. So Stormwing's important. I really think Bone Crusher should be in this deck. Arcanist is great for either just getting removed or having its ability actually go off. I think it's really great. I think these 2 dive down, we didn't see them a ton. When we did use them to protect our stuff, it was great. So I think 2 dive down can stay. I think you could take it out if you wanted to, but I think those 2 dive down are fine. The issue is if you have an entity in your hand, a dive down, and no creatures, and you have, I guess you could technically dive down one of their creatures, worst case, to be able to play your Stormwing. So it's not like it's always a dead card. It's a strong card at the right time. So if you have like a Stormwing come down later in the game, and you have mana up for an opt or for a dive down, it's like that turn they attacked with the Arcanist. They paid the mana to kick the Bloodchief's Thirst. We dived down, we blocked, we got rid of it. That was a good turn. So that card's sweet. Soul Scar I think is awesome with the amount of like burn spells we have. So the Shock, the 4 Wild Slash, and the 3 Bone Crusher I think is really good. Like the last game we played, I think we played that turn pretty good, where we could have held Bone Crusher up, but we didn't. But when we did have it up and we had the Soul Scar out, I think it's awesome. Despite them having Prowess, it's like, fine, here are some counters, your Prowess goes away, your creature's dead. I think that's really good. Opt is fine. Like we kind of talked, it'd be sweet if there was like Preordain or Serum Visions. there isn't ops the best we have. It's not horrible. It's not the best, but it works. Crash throughs turned out to be pretty good a number of times. The trample to all your creatures has actually proven itself to be pretty worthy, especially in a prowess deck. So like, you know, if we shock them, wild slash their face, or like stomp their face with a couple prowess creatures out, we get the triggers, we get the counters on Sprite Dragon. Then you crash through, draw a card, everyone gets trample. If you draw another, like, it's, even if they have a one-on-one block for each creature, we can make our creatures bigger and have trample. Like, we can finish the game that way. So I think that's really good. So honestly, I think this deck is sick. The sideboard is definitely, I think, where there's a lot of room to play. And that just kind of, I think, would depend on how you go about. I think Alpine Moon is good, actually. So I think Alpine Moon in this deck is better than running Damping Sphere. It's 1 mana, which is really what we want since we're at such a low. So I think Alpine Moon is the answer to Lotus Field, and there's a lot of Lotus Field running around, in my opinion. Alpine Moon is awesome. I think a Braid is good. Deals with things like Grafdigger's Cage if your opponent brings in to try and shut down Arcanist. Get rid of Grafdigger's Cage. It's also good for creatures. Even if the creature's higher and you have Soulscar out, 3-1/1 counters. That's awesome. Dispute and Spell Pierce, I think, is perfect. I think there's going to be games where it's going to go longer, and those are going to be really relevant. Magma Spray, I think, is pretty good. The fact that Exiles... We were talking about Spikefield Hazard, but I think Magma Sprays are our answer to like a first-time Croxa. Magma Spray goes away. Soul Guide for Graveyard. Like you said, you could do Tormod's Crypt. You could do like Scrab and Claws. Soul Guide's probably the best, I think, in this deck. Just off the top of my head. And Bedlam Reveler, I think, is awesome. We just never really saw it in action. But if you're, you know, you've kind of pushed your board, they're getting rid of things, game is drawing on, you're only drawing 1 card a turn, say your opponents have a way to draw more, it kind of puts us in the back burner. You top deck a Reveler or draw a Reveler. Sure, you discard your hand, which is most likely going to be 0 to 1 cards. You get a 3/4 Prowess, which is pretty sweet. And you get to draw 3 cards. I think Bedlam Reveler is an A+. So 2 of those is sweet. I could even see having 1 in the main. I think in the sideboard is better. I think Bone Crusher is a better addition, but yeah. I know all about playing Prowess in a vacuum, but I have no clue what most Pioneer decks, so I like to learn stuff. Yeah, I don't think we saw like a ton of like the tier 1 Pioneer decks, but from me playing those a ton, I definitely can see this deck. I think this deck has a really good game 1 against all of those, which is nice. I think you're faster, and they don't have enough answers. Game 2 and 3 is where it'll be, I think, harder, but I think there's answers. So you have like Soul Guide for the Graveyard stuff, Alpine Moon for the Lotus stuff, Abrades for the Artifact stuff. You can go into a counter war to get your important things out here. Bedlam Reveler as well, if they're just bringing a removal and killing your creatures, well, Bedlam Reveler is a good way to fill your hand up. So I definitely think in all the matchups, like there's a fighting chance for sure. And I think we have so many threats so fast that can get so big, they have to deal with the threats. And we bring in ways to deal with their threats. So I don't know. I think we might be really good. If they don't kill Arcanist, it takes over the game. If they kill it, at least they didn't kill your Prowess. 100%, that's perfect. Arcanist unchecked with decent like 1-drop spells is like unreal, because you can attack with Arcanist, opt for free, play your Stormwing, and you can play another card from hand. That's great. But if they kill it, like we were saying, fine. Like, kill my Arcanist. I'm going to keep my Soul Scar, my Swift Spear, my Dragon, my Entity, my Bone Crusher. Like, I'm fine with that trade. And, like, to be honest, like, Dreadhorde Arcanist isn't going to win us the game if it's left unchecked. It's going to help us get to that point, but if they get rid of that and we can get a Sprite Dragon up to 5/5, I don't know. I'm totally fine with that trade. The Trample surprises people too. The Trample surprised me. The Trample was unreal. Like, yesterday when we played, and we were playing, I can't remember what we were playing. against. But they had flyers out. I'm like, okay, they're going to live by 1. I played Crash Through just thinking draw a card. And then I go to attack. I'm like, no, we win. We have trample. Even though they have blockers, we get enough damage through. Crash Through is awesome. I know we were talking about the 1 mana, give a creature haste, draw card for Arcanist, but no, Crash Through all the way. Yeah, they think they have good blocks. You tap out and you give them trample. Crash Through's only downside is it's sorcery. But it doesn't really matter, I don't think. If they've lined up blocks for the turn, at the end of their turn, they pass, they say, okay, I'm not going to die. I got a blocker for each of their guys. Okay, cool. Well, Crash Through. Prowess, +1 on the Sprite Dragon, trample. Like, you think you're safe. You know, they're thinking about what they can do in their next turn, and it doesn't matter because we just trample through them. So this deck's sick. I can totally see why this kind of shell has been in a couple 5-0 leagues. So Expedite is rough because there has to be a creature that casts it. Okay, good point too. You have to... I guess you could target one of your opponent's creatures. That just feels a lot worse than casting Crash Through, targeting nothing. Who cares? Draw cards. So yeah, this deck is sick. I think I really like the Bone Crushers, to be honest. I think I really like the Bone Crushers. I like the fact that a 4/3 is a decent body for them to have to deal with. A 4/3 lets us block and kill a big creature from our opponent if they're swinging. And if the 4/3 needs to be dealt with, and that's a good trample. 4/3 trample with Crasher is good. But also if they get rid of it, it's another burn, which we're fine with, right? So I think the sideboard is where like the most personal spin could be put in. And it's Bone Crusher's also a creature that triggers Prowess. So you cast Stomp, Prowess, boom. Bone Crusher's sweet, it's a 2-for-1. That's why it's been just running standard for 2 years with since Throne came out. In regards to the sideboard and the graveyard hate from us, I could see where Tormod's Crypt could be a better option. Because it's 0. So you get to the point where you draw Tormod's Crypt and it's not too late. You play it. It allows you to Prowess triggers, which is great, but it also allows you to do everything else with your hand because it's cost 0. The only issue is if you draw it late game and you have nothing else, it's just a dead card. Sure, you get rid of the graveyard, but you got nothing. Whereas Soul Guide, I think, for one, is probably better because it immediately takes care of a card in a graveyard. So if they have 1 Kroxa and a full graveyard, I don't care. I'm going to get rid of the Kroxa. It's the thing I'm most scared about at this moment. If you have lands out, you can sack it, draw a card, maybe find something. Even if you find a Stormwing after you've played it, you can play the Stormwing for 2. So I think Soul Guide's the correct card. Now, like, depending on how the meta is, the issue is, do you go 3 Soul Guide and 1 Alpine Moon? If Lotus combo is up there, do you go like 3 and 3 and make a cut somewhere else? Like maybe cut the Magma Sprays. Magma Spray is something I could see cutting for the simple fact that it is only to a creature. Whereas Shock and Wild Slash you can do to the face, which I think is a lot more relevant in this deck. The ability to do both. So I could see Magma Spray being replaced with even like Magma Spray even being replaced with Spikefield Hazard, because Spikefield's 1 to anything. You like Soul Guide. Oh, you have Aether Gust. Okay, perfect. Aether Gust is... Actually, Aether Gust is an awesome card that should be in here. You're 100% right. Yeah, Aether Gust just straight up deals with Bring to Light, Niv Mizzet, Omnath. Boom, put them back on top of your deck. Whatever, that could be the difference maker for this deck winning. It deals with mono green. It deals with Gruul. Yeah, Oh, you're totally right. Aether Gust is a for sure. I don't know why. I don't know why we didn't. Is that how you spell Aether? I can never remember. Yeah, you're bang on. Aether Gust needs to be in here. I think I'm gonna cut the sprays, to be honest with you. I think the thing I don't like about the spray is it can't hit the face. So if you draw that, they have no creatures out, and you're 2 damage away from winning, that's gonna be a feel bad. Whereas at least with Shock Wild Slash, you're like, I'll hit your face, Prowess trigger. Yeah, you're bang on though. Gust is, yeah, that's 100%. All right, well, I think this is a sideboard looks better. So Gust is, I think, really what we're missing. I could even see the Spell Pierce, leaving a Spell Pierce, to be our third, either like Alpine Moon or Soul Guide. Spell Pierce is pretty good though. I'm not gonna lie. There's in like the tier meta, there's a shit ton of Thoughtseize running around. So, but yeah, I don't know. I like this deck. I had a ton of fun playing this deck. It made me think. With like Arcanist, I've been playing it so long. I feel like I still think, but I feel like I kind of know the lines a bit better. So this was sweet. I think next week I'm gonna try to run it in a league. So I might sneak in a couple games this weekend just myself, just to play it a bit more. But I think next Wednesday and Thursday I'm gonna run like a Pioneer League and a Pioneer League with this, and we'll see what we can do because I think this deck is sick. So, yeah, thanks for like messaging me and saying, hey, check this list out. Being here in the stream and hanging out while we were playing, it was a lot of fun. It was great to get your opinion on stuff. It was sweet. I think we did pretty good. We did some good plays together, which was sweet. So yeah, it was awesome. If you ever have any other brews that you're like, I want to try this out, hit me up and I'll try and do it. But yeah, I think next week I'm gonna try and run a league with this. So yeah, that's sweet. But I'm gonna wrap it up. It is 10 after 7. And my wife will be home soon, so I should deal with the dinner and stuff so I don't get slapped. Anyways, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you in the next stream next week, hopefully. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Talk to you guys later.